This is a tutorial on a mesh node network with disruption technology. We begin by going to tplinklogin.net. Normally there will be a username and password pop up. The username will be admin, the password will be admin. And what we're doing, we're just going to go to the system tools. Then you're going to click on firmware upgrade, choose file. You're gonna get the script link that's in there. It'll be in the bottom. Then we'll go to openwrt.org, click on attitude adjustments, and then we will see the squash fs factory link. Also that link will be at the bottom, just to clarify. We will save link as. It'll take a few seconds. And once we're ready, we will head back to the TP-Link website, go to System Tools. We will click on Upgrade. OK. Let it process. Then you're going to go ahead and type in the search bar 192.168.1.1. Then we'll go to the pink box that says go to password configuration. You'll type in your new password and confirm it. Click on Apply Changes. Okay, from here we're going to go and open WinSCP. It's a program to edit files on your router. You're going to go under the protocol and you're going to put it under SCP. You're going to type in the IP address 192.168.1.1. You're going to go under username, you're going to type in root, you're going to put in the password that you changed it to. And you'll go to advanced. Under the environment tab, you'll click the SCP shell, uncheck lookup usernames, then you'll go to login. And then you'll go ahead and just let it boot. You're going to click on update. This is the WinSCP home screen. From there, we're going to open a session.
Here we are in the PuTTY terminal. Now you see the OpenWRT interface. So we're going to start with updating our Open Package Management System before we install the USB storage. Now we're installing, using the kernel module to install the USB storage. We're also installing the mounting device. and the ext4. We're going to go ahead and install Batman Advanced through the kernel module. So that we don't have to continuously do the OPKG update. We're also installing a driver for the radios on the router and able to read disk compatibility. As you can see, PuTTY lets you know when you've misspelled, so we'll try to reinstall our EF2, which is basically used for additional file system utilities. The fdisk is basically a function that allows you to read disk. Now we're making the ext4 partition. And setting up or making swap, which allows transfer of information. So we have made swap and now we are going to turn swap on. We are now making a directory. And now we're mounting the device through the share so it knows to go to the USB drive. Now we're going to set up our edited and modified script for the Batman mesh code. We have to put in our specific router IP addresses and the appointed names that we've given them. There are also other features in Batman that you can manipulate just depending on your specific needs for your mesh network. Copying the edited and modified script, and we're going to paste it into PuTTY and run it. We then will reboot. At this point, the network is now set up. We're now going to the opkg.config so that we can configure the file manager. And go into the IVR-DTN website to copy the line of code that is specific to our base firmware, which is the AR71XX. Thus, we are editing the OPKG update to install IVR-DTN. Here we are updating OPKG again in order to install IVR-DTN. We're now making a directory for the IVR on our USB drives. As well as for bundles and container. Now we are editing the script for our specific mounts, the type of limits we want to adhere, static connections, and we also have to put in the IP addresses of the router. DTN has a lot of capabilities, just like your mesh network. So the specificity of what you're looking for all depends on what you're trying to create or modify. Now we are going to update the WIN SCP since we modified our script. We are back in the PuTTY interface, and we now enable the auto start. And lastly, we reboot.